Congratulations, Joss Whedon. You did not fuck up the Avengers, which would have been easy to do. But before we get to the movie, I kind of want to talk about the movie going experience and the theater I saw it in. I kind of talked about it in a video before I went. Um, I went and saw it in IMAX 3D at a local theater. And first off, I get there now. Granted, I showed up at the last minute, but the fucking line out the door. I hadn't seen anything like that since The Dark Knight, and this was on a Monday afternoon. It wasn't even 5 p.m. So I'm just wondering, do people like work anymore at all, or do they just like I don't know, collect money from the government and then just go and do whatever the fuck they want? I couldn't believe it. Now I get weird days off because I work in retail, but I know most people don't. So that was a little. I was a little scared about not getting in, but I got in just fine. But the theater was packed. I had to sit off to the side, and I have to say, I usually don't mind that, but with this, I would have liked to sit in the middle somewhere, but it was just not happening. Unless I wanted to like creep up on somebody. Um, IMAX, my first IMAX experience. I saw IMAX when I was a little kid. Something at like the Museum of Science and Industry, and I don't really remember it that well. It was awesome. Like IMAX itself, that screen is huge, and the picture quality is great, especially during the previews the previews that weren't 3D. Some of the previews in 3D were great too, but we'll get to the 3D. But just the screen is just amazing. The picture quality is great. The sound, it almost makes it does make it a physical experience because when it lets loose, it like shakes your body, which is pretty awesome. Um, the 3D I could take or leave. I honestly would rather see it not 3D, but I wanted to see IMAX, and there was no IMAX only option. It was IMAX 3D or nothing. So, and the 3D it was good, especially for post converting to 3D. I mean, that was quite a feat. There were parts that looked pretty cool in 3D, but it just kind of strains on your eyes after a while. You like want to take the glasses off for a second and rub your eyes, and it dulls the picture a little bit. I would just, I don't know. I just 3D. I don't love it. I do like it on the 3DS, but it's a little different. And I get to turn the 3D on and off on the 3DS. Um, so yeah, that's my thoughts on seeing it in IMAX 3D. You don't need to see it in IMAX 3D, but if you could see it in IMAX, go for it. I don't want it honestly. I don't want to see a movie not in IMAX anymore. I mean, that shit is great. And one final thing about the movie theater, I know I've gone on for like 3 minutes now, not even talking about the movie yet, but there was a baby that was crying through the whole second half of the movie. And I cannot believe the people that, like, I mean, it was far enough from me that I would only hear it when the movie got really quiet. And then you hear the baby, I'm like, oh man, it's still crying. I feel so bad for the people that are sitting there. And one, I couldn't believe that the people didn't snap on, the family with the baby. And two, I can't believe the family with the baby didn't get up and fucking make the baby shut up or leave, one or the other. The kid's just crying the whole fucking time. It was really annoying. I mean, it wasn't so bad for me, but if they were sitting by me, man, I would have lost my shit. As for the movie, hands out, nicely done to Joss Whedon and Marvel, and even going back to like Jon Favreau and Kenneth Branagh, who did Thor. They took a bunch of superheroes that I don't really give a shit about. I still don't give a shit about Captain America, but for the most part, they make me like them, and it made this movie fun. I know I said before going in I wasn't a fan of most of the movies. I'm not. I'm not a big fan of Iron Man. I liked Thor. I thought Thor was pretty great, and I thought this was better. I thought this was a really fun movie. Um, Basically, Loki comes to Earth in this really convoluted plot. Like he steals this tesseract or something. I think it's called. It's just like this energy source, and he steals it from Shield, like the secret agency. And Nick Fury, Sam Jackson decides the way to get it back is to assemble this team of Avengers. These remarkable people who can fight the fights that we can't. So he rounds up, you know, Bruce Banner and Captain America, and uh, Thor just kind of shows up on his own because Thor is Loki's brother. So Thor was just trying to get Loki on his own to begin with. Iron Man, and they do battle with Loki. It takes a while to get going because you have the whole like recruiting the members part and like reintroducing you to the characters, or if you're just coming in fresh, introducing you to them. You can pretty much come in at not having seen all the previous movies, but you know it adds a little bit more if you've seen them. Um, and then there's like this attack in the middle that is it goes on for a while, and it was okay. There were parts of it that were cool. And then, but the payoff here is the last like 30 minutes when all hell is unleashed on New York City, and all the Avengers are just fighting these aliens that are coming in and fighting Loki. And that part is a lot of fun, a lot of really great action. Some of the stuff in 3D was great. Some great laughs in those portions. Hulk almost steals the show, and you know, special nod to Mark Ruffalo. He was great as Bruce Banner, and when he turned into the Hulk, it was just a blast. And Hulk got the two biggest laughs in the movie. I'm not going to spoil them, but the crowd ate up those moments. They worked perfectly how they planned them, and everyone was just laughing. I mean, one of them just it put a big smile on my face. And one thing I really like about this movie is they finally did the Hulk right, because he was the only character that I have any sort of attachment to before these movies. I hated Incredible Hulk and the Hulk, Ang Lee's Hulk. Like, I didn't hate them, but I didn't like them. But when I was a little kid, I was a big fan of the 80s live-action TV series with Lou Ferrigno, and I forgot the other guy that played him. But I was a fan of the Hulk as a kid, but, you know, it's kind of died off with these shitty movies that they put out recently. Like I said, Hulk almost steals the show here. But everyone kind of gets their moment. And that's like, this movie would have been easy to screw up because there's too many things going on. You know, you just put all these characters together, it could have been a disaster, like where, you know, Iron Man's getting overshadowed, or, you know, like they don't get their moment to shine, but they all kind of did. I think Thor could have got a little bit more, but he had his moments in it. They all had their moments. That's the thing that was great. Robert Downey is at his best here. He's always had fun playing as Tony Stark, but he's just nailed the role and the humor now. Thor was funny. They were all pretty funny. The only one I still think I'm sorry. I know there's Captain America fans, but he's fucking lame, and it kind of shows in this. Like he does a few things here and there, but he's mostly just like the captain near the end, just like you do that, and I'll just stand here with my shield and not get fucked up. I mean, the best part about Captain America is they got to make jokes at his expense because he's from, you know, what, World War II era, and he just got like out of being cryogenically frozen or whatever, and he doesn't know anything that's going on. Like he doesn't understand like modern technology and shit like that. They could have done actually a little bit more with that, but they did. There's lots of good laughs in the movie, and lots of good action at the end. The plot's a little like, you know, it's like Loki wants this thing so that he could let this army in that will come and fuck up Earth, so then he could rule over Earth. And I think in exchange for doing that, Loki was going to give them the power source or something. I don't know. But, you know, that said, Loki and Thor, their story is my favorite story. And it's cool how that played, you know, like I like Thor the most, that movie. And it was cool how, like, their characters played, you know, the big role in this, and, you know, the catalyst for the events in this. So that was cool. I don't know, I'm kind of going all over the place, but it's a fun, you know, a fun summer blockbuster. They did it right, you know. You're gonna get your action, you're gonna get your laughs, you're gonna have fun. You might not remember it for too long, but it was done well. And Hulk fucking smashed. So I don't know what else I really want to say about it. Iced tea. unsweetened the right way, not whiskey, I swear. Um, is it my favorite superhero movie ever? No. Um, or favorite comic book movie? No. That still goes to The Dark Knight and Christopher Nolan's Batman movies in general. But that said, they're pretty different. Like this is it's two different beasts. You know, Batman, especially these new ones, it's a very grim, dark story, very moody. It seems like it could almost happen. You know, it's more based in reality. It's grittier. You know, part two almost felt like a gangster film meets a terrorist film. You know, I mean, and this is just fun. Let's see stuff explode and a couple one-liners and Hulk doing his thing. You know, it's different. But Dark Knight is just more my taste. I guess I'm more of a cynical, grim person. But it's just two different beasts. But I'm still, I mean, Dark Knight I think is an amazing film. One of the best films of one of the best films I've ever seen. I watched it again recently, and it's just amazing. Uh, and I guess then I'll leave it with this. I liked the Avengers. I thought they did a great job. 4 out of 5 stars. But as far as the summer movies go this year, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better summer. Get excited for this summer. If you're not excited for the summer, you might need to find a new hobby. Like if you say you're really into films and you're not looking forward to this summer, the trailer for Spider-Man looked great. Dark Knight Rises, of course, I got a major boner for that. Prometheus, which I've avoided everything on, but the 3D trailer for that was incredible. I'll probably go see that in IMAX 3D. I mean, that's Spider-Man, Batman, and a new Ridley Scott like basically Alien flick in the same summer, and the Avengers kicking it all off. You can't ask for a better summer season of movies. You really can't. If you could name one, I'd like to know because I can't think of the best summer season I could think of was 1999, and that was a different time. Like I just remember just seeing movie after movie that was really great that year, like American Pie, Stir of Echoes, Eyes Wide Shut, American Beauty. Those are not like the summer movies that you think of now, but those were some of the movies that came out that summer and that early fall. I remember just like that year, just like wow, it's just good movie after good movie. But from the last couple of years, I mean, look at last year, Green Lantern. Granted, I like Thor, but Thor. I don't know. There was a bunch of garbage last year, and this year is just gonna be awesome. So, anyways, enough of me rambling. Uh, is the Avengers a must see? I don't think so, but if you want a good early summer blockbuster, there you go. It fits the bill. If you're a big Avengers or Marvel fan, yeah, it's a must see. Most of you, though, at this point, I'm sure have already seen it. I'm probably late to the game here, seeing it after opening weekend. Because apparently everybody gets every day off to go see movies. But anyways, you've probably already seen it, so share your thoughts. I thought it was a fun time. Anyways, thanks for watching later, guys.